It's one of the most famous quotes in Canadian political history. Just watch me.
At any cost? How far would you go with that? How far would you extend that?
Well, just watch me.
Originally used by Pierre Trudeau during the 1970 October crisis, the line has been resurrected and given new meaning by Jagmeet Singh. This weekend, Trudeau took aim at the NDP's proposed wealth tax, saying you can't go after the wealthy with unlimited zeal. In a quick-witted clapback, Singh retweeted news of Trudeau's remarks, captioned with his own father's trademark taunt, "Just watch me." This wasn't just a clever jab, though. It struck at one of the Liberals' biggest hypocrisies. They claim to be champions of the middle class, but time and time again have proven to be defenders of the ultra-rich. At his Oakville rally on Sunday, Trudeau attacked Conservatives over failed trickle-down economics and wanting to make the rich richer, saying it never does and it never has trickled down. He talked about strengthening the middle class and patted himself on the back for fulfilling his 2015 promise to have their backs. Except he didn't fulfill it, not even close. While the middle class was already shrinking before the Liberals took office, the trend has accelerated at light speed under their watch. In 2019, 4 years after Trudeau's initial promise, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development reported middle-class shrinkage in Canada was larger than average when compared with other member nations. In 2020, the Parliamentary Budget Office released a study that showed the top 1% of Canadians own over 25% of the country's wealth. And during the pandemic, the wealth gap only grew worse, with Canada's billionaires raking in unprecedented profits. And then, of course, there's the housing crisis, which spiraled out of control as Trudeau's government stoked demand, pushed forward with unsustainable immigration targets, and refused to stop foreign speculation and money laundering. Home ownership, which is traditionally a middle-class rite of passage in Canada, is now but completely out of reach for anyone not already in the market. Speaking of trickle-down economics, it's Trudeau who oversaw perhaps the biggest trickle-down economics experiment in Canadian history, the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy, or CEWS. The program handed out billions to the country's wealthiest companies, many of whom still continue to lay off employees while paying C-suite bonuses and investor dividends. If Trudeau knows trickle-down economics don't work, then why flood profitable corporations with taxpayers' money? Either this was an elephant-sized oversight, or Trudeau is once again saying what voters, and particularly NDP swing voters, want to hear with little intent to follow through. Trudeau can point all he wants to his Minister of Middle-Class Prosperity, but that doesn't change the fact that Canada's middle class is disappearing at an ever quicker pace. This isn't just some natural phenomenon, it's the direct result of policy choices, many of which were made by Trudeau himself.